Beyond that gate, way past me there, lays an adventure. We haven't left the property, other than for short walks in the neighborhood. Let's go and see what's on the other side of the gate. What lays beyond is a mystery, the neighborhood, the Vineyards. Well known for its fynbos, and this is a real classic example of what her fynbos really looks like. And South Africa, in the Cape region, it has one of the greatest biodiversities of the plant species anywhere else on this planet. And what is behind me right here is the different pieces of the fynbos, and this right here is the national flower of South Africa, the protea. And the protea is just an amazing part of the export that has gone to different parts of the world. Part of what this country has that is just so incredible in its beauty.
I like you.
We will continue on down to the vineyards in a moment. So, not only is this country covered in immense beauty, but also the challenge of South Africa is the security component. And wherever we are walking in this neighborhood are all of these fences. For example, look at these electric wires behind me, and there are these various big gates that we will see further on, the security boxes, the armed response. The amount of money that is spent on security in South Africa is just unbelievable. If this resource was put into education, if it was put into jobs, imagine how different our society could be. There is no walking up to your neighbor and knocking on the door or ringing the bell. It is all, again, everybody's living behind these fences, behind these gates, completely in a very modern high-end prison. And this is actually what it feels like, self-incarceration, the fear of unknown, the fear of people outside. And when you keep people out, you keep yourself in. How do we connect with humanity? How do we connect with our community when all we know are fences? So again, this is an example of being locked down. We've got the vineyards, we've got the beautiful mountains, but here we have the walls. People put up the walls. America talks about putting up walls, and I hope the future generations will tear down the wall. We spent such a long time tearing down the wall around the Eastern Europe and the Iron Curtain. And there was a wonderful saying that a woman had made when Trump was talking about building a wall across the Mexican-US border. And he was talking about the US having Mexico pay for it. And there was this wonderful slogan of a young 12-year-old woman, 12-year-old girl holding up a sign and saying, "Trump, you can build the wall, but my generation will tear down your wall." We have to take down these walls of society. We have to take down these walls of class. We have to come to the place of a conversation between haves and have-nots and find a way to lift people up and to lift up the economics of all people. Our biggest threat to society is not going to be just plain security. It's not going to be climate change. It is not going to be just the aspect of the haves and the have-nots. It is a combination of all of this. The difference between those who live in poverty and those who can have this extreme wealth. This divide is going to be one of the biggest challenges that we as a global society will have to overcome. And in the world of the post-COVID, where we've now had economies disseminated, how are we going to fix these things? But let's also focus on the beauty of maybe what the planet is getting because the world has come to a stop. Let's go into the vineyards. There is such a contrast of the beauty of the mountains, the beauty of the vineyards, the beauty of the region, and then where I grew up on the Cape Flats, way beyond all of this, where again poverty completely strikes. And so we come down this amazing path, found our way, and wow, there are these amazing vineyards, centuries in history, the vines that have come from the Huguenots of France, the far corners of Europe, and cultivating. Now it's winter down here, so there's nothing on the vines, but again, these are for not just the grapes for the wines, but also the grapes to eat. And the Hanepoort grape is the sweetest and one of my favorite grapes that's also grown here in the Cape. And then all the way back there, way in the distance, you can see the Cape Flats. You can see the flat lands of where the divide between the haves and the have-nots. Here we are right 10 minutes away from the city. Out there we are 15 minutes away from poverty, from crime, from harsh economics, the aftermath of apartheid. This country has been a country of such diversity, so many changes, and yet so much still to be done. Let's keep exploring.
Stunning.
What I have only seen once in my childhood was snow on the mountains. And those were the higher mountains, and we hear of places like the Drakensberg and the Cedarberg getting just ever so light dusting. And as I look out over these fields and I look out towards the east, and there is snow on mountains I have never seen before. Unbelievable that at these lower slopes we actually can have snow. I've heard the stories that snow has even landed on the beach. This was unheard of. Climate change truly is real, because that did not happen in our previous ancestors, our previous generations, as is happening now. And one of the other big challenges that has happened here in Cape Town and the tip of Africa has been, this is ground zero of some of the climate change challenges that are taking place. For the last 1-2 decades, the winters have shifted. We don't get the rains that we used to get anymore. And as a result, this city has risked running out of water. They've had extreme, and I mean extreme, water restrictions. And it's affected their tourism. It's affected the way South Africans, Cape Towners have lived. And they've really come to understand what it's like to have periods of time where the water is shut off. You can't get water out of a tap. Imagine what that feels like. Not knowing, will we run out of water? So again, we have to preserve everything we've got in this country, on this planet. Join me for more videos, share and like. Let's keep doing things together.
Subscribe.